Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. Game number 100 Thieves. Back to business as usual.
I mean, it looked so different than the way that the 100 Thieves Academy from last year was actually winning a lot of their games, where they would take you to 40 minutes and then hands check you with Tenacity and Bucio. This time, they were just kind of in control the entire time across the entire board, which I think speaks to the fact that this roster has much more experience than previous incarnations of the 100 Thieves Challengers roster.
Yeah, shoutouts to the bot lane for bouncing back after a very surprising isolated 2v2 kill and dub from Lynx and Skytech. Just willing to take the hands check against Unforgiven and Destiny using that synergy, but you know, afterwards it was pretty much 100 Thieves Challenger completely dominating the game.
A lot of people have been looking to step up against Unforgiven. We saw that with Wixie and Draven last week.
True.
That was a lot of fun. Well, let's have some more fun. Time for our halftime segment. We're gonna have a little pep talk. We gotta get our teams. We gotta take our teams. We gotta get the energy. We gotta raise it as high as we can. But of course, this is gonna be a little bit of a Deathrick's version, right? Rafa, you will get first selection. This is how this is gonna go. You're going to have to debate for your team on why they're gonna be the best in the league. You will both get a rebuttal round. Every round is gonna be 1 minute long. Not by this player. This is pep talk. Rafa, you get to choose the team since you won our game last time.
No.
Well,
I feel like there's some collusion here going on.
You know, considering that they just won a game in a very dominant fashion, I would like to select the 100 Thieves Challenger roster to give a pep talk for.
All right, Josh.
All right.
That means you have to give a pep talk to AOE Gold. But, Rafa, I just sent you a list. Pick one. Pick one on that list in your DMs.
Oh. Ooh. Oh.
What? You as sad Fez das Faz.
Oh my goodness. Hey, you're not getting the list yet, Josh.
I'm not. I didn't get anything.
Guys, by the way, you know what? How much time is our halftime show allotted for? We have some time, right?
Got 7 minutes on this.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to let the chat know that my options are cowboy, K-pop star, wrestler, TV chef, Tyler 1, infomercial, Draven, anime side character, vampire, or Knight of the Round Table. That is a lot of options. And unfortunately, my chat window just crashed, so I don't think I can take... I was going to try and see what chat would like for me to do, but by the time I get it up, we're going to run out of time, so I'm just going to do a random number generator. It is number...
Fast, Rafa, hurry.
7. I gotta be Draven.
No. Back it up. You're picking for Josh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I don't want you to just be comfortable and slot in just anything, Rafa.
Oh, I'm picking... Oh, so I pick Josh's, like, character that he has to...
Yeah.
Well, he got Draven, so...
Hear that, Josh?
You gotta be Draven, Josh.
Draven, here to play. And what am I doing exactly? I'm giving them a pep talk, or am I arguing why they're the best?
You're going to argue why they're the best. You're doing it all.
Wait,
You're doing it all, Josh.
I wanted to give the pep talk for 100 Thieves Challenger.
You're doing it for 100
AOE. Come on, Mark.
You're doing it for 100 Thieves, Mark.
Okay,
You're good.
Okay.
All right,
Josh, you got a minute on the clock starting whenever you start. Go ahead.
All right, AOE Gold Draven here to give you a bit of a pep talk on exactly how we're going to take these down. And here's the big deal. You got Draven on the sidelines, and Draven doesn't lose. And you guys aren't going to lose either. We're going to be throwing axes at them back and forth. Winnie, I'm going to give you all the tools to go in. You're going to create some space for me, okay? Draven is always here to play. And we already saw Lynx and Skytech. You guys got some good teamwork going on. I want to see the gladiatorial cage fighting down in the bottom lane. No more of this crazy backline stuff. We're going in. You know what? Put me right on the spot. We're going to get some of that Draven going energy right now, right here. Axe after axe after axe. You beat him with Zara Yumi. Imagine what you can do with me.
Josh, where was that accent going?
I don't know.
You know what? You committed to the bit, though. I respect
I felt like a little bit of Dog the Bounty Hunter in there, too. But, you know,
I felt that. Okay, you know what? I liked it, Josh. I like it. I'm going to cut you some slack this time. Now, Rafa, 100 Thieves Challenger. Josh, I sent you the list. Pick his character.
List. Josh, I know you have the choice, but if you can give me number 5, Tyler 1, I promise you will not regret it. Give me Tyler 1, please.
All right. We'll let you do it. We'll give you the boy.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready with the clock.
All right.
5-time challenger player every role. Let's see if you can pull it off.
Let me adjust my microphone settings real quick. I gotta mimic his shitty-ass Logitech. Oh, my bad. I didn't use that. Okay.
Fine.
Sup! Hey, 100 Thieves Challengers! Hey, I'm looking at you, Yukino. You're doing a little good. You're doing a lot of good things out there, but unforgiven. 80, most important role in the game, man. If you're not reporting him, I don't care what you're doing. But you're looking good. Okay, now, hold up now. Sniper. I know you played in my Tyler 1 Championship Series a couple times. Discount code awful. But you lost every single time. Actually, no, you won. I'll take that back. My bad. I'm never wrong. T1, baby. Okay. Now, all you guys gotta do is just believe you're the better player every single time, because you are. Because you're playing for 100 Thieves Challengers, which is just basically my org as Tyler 1. Actually, it's not. It's T1. But you know what? We got the same colors. It's okay. It's okay. Now, you're gonna go in there. You're gonna be the best team. You're gonna get promoted to LCS, because that's what you are. You're winners. Let's go!
Time!
Felt like an air traffic controller and a football coach.
It sounded like a Matthew McConaughey impression of Tyler 1.
You know,
All
it's
right, I
all
think I'm
about
back.
the universe, and you gotta come back. Are we experiencing the universe, or is the universe experiencing us?
All right, normally this is the rebuttal segment, but now it's the trash talk segment.
What?
Josh, you're leading us right now in the personality of Draven. You got to talk right back. Rafa already said the word for me. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, Draven's back here. We got it ready to go. And we just heard what Tyler 1. Tyler 1 just has to use me. He knows I am that strong the entire time. He thinks he's got something here, but you just saw what it is. We already know. Gamsu, we're not doing any of this late game scaling stuff. We're going to actually have you fight from minute 1. We already said that we were going to have Lynx and SkyTech play Draven in the bottom lane, but you know what it is. Draven can play in every single lane. We're going to go from fighting from minute 1. Absolutely no breaks on this train. You know what? At this point, Winnie, we already got 5. We've seen that before. We're totally losing the thread of what Draven's voice sounds like. We're getting a little too much Matthew McConaughey in here. But Winnie, you too, you'll have an opportunity to play the Draven.
Oh my god.
Come on, you got to get it in there. It's Draven. All right. Tyler 1, what do you got to say what do you got to say to that?
Give me 1 second. Killing all the base, gotta up the mid, kill the treble, and then...
Alright, I think
equalizer.
Yeah, equalizer.
Wow.
Anyway. Hey! Sup! Here we go. You're trash. That's all I gotta say. 100 Thieves Challenger, best team. Right here. I don't need to say anything more. Alright, hang on.
Oh,
I don't have my tank top on, but I gotta...
You gotta rip one for
Are you getting
yourself.
the flex?
I'm trying to remember how Tyler 1 flexes. I cast
Right here, put the whole camera on. Put the whole camera on. You got the... No, it's like that. Mark, look. It's just the...
No, dude, I don't have the guns of T1. It's okay. Like, I'm doing a lot of things right now, trying to mimic his microphone quality.
There you go.
Yeah! Oh my gosh.
All right.
That looks a lot like the slam of the week.
Twitch chat, please spam in chat who you think won this. We'll talk in the next.
I don't know if anybody won. I don't know if anybody won here.
Honestly, I think chat lost having to watch that. That I do sincerely apologize. But, you know, these are the things that we do when the players are taking their breaks and getting everything ready for us.
Yeah, we like to have a good time. That's the way it is here in the NACL. Well, don't worry, we don't have to cut any more of the time out of the draft. The draft is going to be ready. So, Rafa, Joshi, if you guys want to, please just take it away and enjoy a good game too.
Bye, Eric.
Ciao, Eric. Oh man,
that That
You know?
really was. I felt like I did Draven okay in the first time, and the second time I just had to Matthew McConaughey a little bit more of the front of the mouth.
If there was a time where chat instantly muted us, it was right then and there. And,
True.
you know, it's...
I bet everybody in chat right now is the video-only version of the... yeah.
Oh, yeah, no audio at all. Well, you know, then we get to say whatever we want at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That was the play all along.
No, a bunch of
Get
rats
everyone
anyway.
to mute us, and then now we can talk about whatever we want. We'll
All right, well...
succeed.
Anyway, I can't wait to see what chat is going to have to say about that later on, but we do have another draft, and what do you know, Mark? Same old bands again. So, we'll kind of get back into the champion select if anything interesting or surprising happens. I mean, the Hybrid Digger is a little bit less common here in the Challengers League, but again, I kind of want to compare this 100 Thieves roster from last year to this year because there's it's actually changed entirely. There's no returning players from the 100 Thieves Academy in summer, but we have seen a lot of these players before, right? Pretty comes from Immortals, Destiny was playing for Cloud9, Sniper is playing for the 100 Thieves Next program, and Yukino and Unforgiven are just new additions to the LCS Challengers League situation entirely. And so, this is an entirely new roster, but we always have to kind of compare them. How well will this roster do in comparison to the previous one that made it to a bunch of Proving Grounds finals?
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to send a message to my producer, Champ
Sorry,
Select
Jay.
Music. No, it's okay. I miss the Champ Select Music. I'm pretty sure chat can hear it, but it's usually one of those things that gets me amped up. But AOE Gold already ramping all through of their picks. Vi locked in. I mean, we saw how decisive Winnie was last week with this pick. Sniper giving a little bit of a tease, hovering his signature Riven, but I mean, we would not see it locked in anytime soon.
Not first, anyway. That would be a little bit too much ego, feeling themselves a little bit too much. And so 100 Thieves, as we kind of look at them, there are still high expectations for this roster, just because you have a very experienced bottom half of the map, and you have two rookies coming through. And again, this is the team that started importing people like Luger in order to make sure that they could either, one, promote them for themselves, or have an opportunity to sell them to another team, because there's no doubt in basically anyone's mind that Unforgiven is good enough to play at the LCS level, and this is just a temporary thing that they will have to do for next year. Whereas Sniper and Yukino, I mean, Sniper is literally too young. Whereas Yukino also comes up as kind of a very interesting young rookie that I don't think a lot of people really had at the forefront of, like, yes, this guy's going to be the best. He's good. He's got a lot of mechanics behind him. And so this is 100 Thieves' opportunity to try and mold them into being one of the best junglers in the league.
Jhin and Nautilus available, as you talked about, for a lot of expectations for this young guy. 100 Thieves Challengers. Now you have some options. Maokai and Vi already taken away. Okay, well, I mean,
Weird.
we really shouldn't be expecting much differentiation. I'm always hoping that maybe Yukino would be the guy that will bust out a more carry-oriented jungler.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Wukong can be, but, I mean, he's there because you still provide great, solid initiation. But I want something more like the Graves or even the Nocturne.
I don't know. I'm in a very similar opinion to, I think, a lot of color casters across the world right now. There's, like, champion select, it is what it is, right? Like, we are in a situation where there's no champions that are just, like, so far above the rest of the champions that they need to be banned every time. But there are there's just enough champions that are really, really good right now that you will basically always be able to get yourself A-tier champions in basically every role. The one exception to that I think we're seeing right now is Nautilus has not been particularly popular, but has basically always been good at the Challenger League level, at the semi-pro level, where you have a lot of players who can just get things started. And going up against the double range, Nautilus gives you opportunities to be very aggressive, even if it's not always the easiest thing in the world to actually pull off in the first place because of how much damage you'll be taking. But, like, we've all seen Nautilus. We know what all these champions are. The only real surprise is that Cassante has not been touched this entire time, and with the Silas and the Gnar bans coming through, I don't even know if we're setting up for that, right? Gnar is, like, fine into Cassante, especially after one item, but the laning phase is not the easiest thing.
pretty brutal for the little Yordle, especially when he is not in Mega form. For AOE Gold, you are just really loading up on single target crowd control. It is in the ultimate spells, so you have to be a little bit more efficient with when you use them, right? But don't tempt me, Sniper. Don't tempt me. I really would love to see you blind Riven. That is a lot of gusto.
Yeah, feeling like Zach right now. All right, fine. We do have the Cassante ends up coming through. It is going to be going over to Sniper, and Gamsu never really had an opportunity to get off the ground in the last game. Didn't have a whole lot of support, was constantly being threatened. Sniper's picking up in lane. We were kind of expecting all of that. And the Fiora that is currently being hovered is not something that we've seen Gamsu really play a whole lot in the past, but it's also really tough to play a lot of tanks into the Cassante, so I would not be surprised if it gets locked in. And Gamsu, be throwing down the gauntlet a little bit this time.
This would be the one matchup that you can really destroy Cassante in. I think a lot of other pro players I've talked to talk about Gwen being another one that can shred Cassante. It's just the laning phase, you have to wait a little bit before you come online.
Ooh. I'm a little bit surprised that this Victor is coming out. Like, yes, Darkwings can play it, and it is a denial pick from Pretty, but sometimes though Pretty has like small champion pool to play with, right? Pretty was a guy who was good at just about all mages across the board last year, and especially on things like the Azir, which is currently banned away, and the Victor, he was kind of able to do basically whatever they wanted just because of how consistent they really were. And the Talia was the character that Pretty made his name on in the first place. I remember going back through a bunch of tape and just being like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seismic shoves in a row where he's hitting every single one of them. And if you're doing that, like, you're gonna win games.
You know, back just to clarify, back over in the ERLs or when he came over?
In Academy last year. Like, Pretty was, like, when IMT was popping off, it was with Pretty's Talia. You would get like 10 kills a game.
I'm trying to place that back. Was that the 2021 season?
No, this was last year. Like, he did so well. Like, Pretty's Talia was, you know, to borrow from Magical, you cannot give him this character. He's going to win the game. What did you expect? Like,
oh, okay. Sorry, I for some reason, I was thinking of Insanity from Dignitas and that big Talia game, and I was just like, but sorry, I didn't mean to question you. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Talia player in Challengers League right now, right? We know APA came through, played it twice a day, had one game where they looked pretty good, and one game where Balulu kind of had a little bit too much fun. We'll see if Pretty can actually have the same kind of success this year that they have last year, now that they're playing with what is, I'm expecting to be a stronger team. And, ooh, Sniper going with Ignite instead of Ghost. Easier to fight.
He saw Gamsu throw down the Fiora as the counter pick of choice, and Sniper's like, "Oh, you wanna wrestle? You wanna test your mettle against me?" Well, you know, with the Ignite on his side, that means Gamsu's not gonna have as much sustain. 100 Thieves Challengers. Are they gonna see how many members here? I don't know if they're ready for necessarily level 1, but great poke already opening up from 100 Thieves Challengers. Skytech forced to not necessarily flash, just the dredge line. Gets out safely. No summoner spells burned by either side.
Well, that is going to be a little bit of gold picked up by Destiny and a couple mana flow bans going back and forth for sure. So, not a whole lot actually happening in that level 1, just trading back and forth. And interestingly enough, it is enough to actually get 100 Thieves over the line. I think that means all 3 procs from Destiny's support item have been procced. But overall, the sickle. Spectral Sickle. That's it. That's the one that Senna always built. But overall, like, this bottom lane is mostly just being a big winning coming through from Destiny and Unforgiven, because they are able to get into the lane first, whereas Skytech will not be able to take brush control on this Nautilus, which will really hurt their ability to play out the first couple of levels.
Shout out to This Is Princess. I am happy that I was providing some comedic substance. I'm assuming they're talking about the Tyler 1 thing. I was...
Probably.
In my head, I was like, this can either sound really funny or really cringe. It probably was both, to be honest.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best content right there.
One man's cringe is another man's treasure.
True! I like that.
Yeah.
I need to get that quoted. I'm going to hang that up above your door.
Hang it on the wall.
Yep.
But we are going to be seeing right now, Gamsu should have a bit of an advantage for the first couple, you know, at least for this level 1, right? Fiora's level 1 is so good, but
Oh
look
my
at that.
goodness.
Destiny and Unforgiven, they have total control of the bottom lane, and that's a disaster. The fact that Lynx has to go for a full back means that it is so difficult for them to take control of this lane once again. Remember what we said, they weren't able to walk into lane because Sky took too much damage at the beginning. Now they've lost control of their lives and they're making pancakes at 3 in the morning.
Oh, that's always a tough one. Burn Flash on top of it too, so even though we didn't get a chance to see the fight erupt, probably just arms race to level 2. Unforgiven and Destiny beat them to the punch. Lynx forced the flash away, and they wanted to recall, but it's a huge wave you would be missing out on, and even if you can't get the gold, you gotta soak up the experience when you can.
Yeah, I mean, they'll stick around, but look at this. Yukino's already finding Winnie.
And he knows that there's nothing that Winnie can really fight back with. Skytech and Lynx are low. They force the opposition first blood for Yukino on the Monkey King. This is just textbook from Hutchin Thieves Challengers.
Look, they're still caught underneath their own turret. Lynx and Skytech. This is a little bit closer to what we were expecting in the first place. It's now Sniper. It's for a bit of a brawl, but it's so tough for Lynx and Skytech. They are going to fall off their recall. They are going to have the wave crash into them. They're losing a ton of experience, and the one bright point on the map is the fact that Pretty has to use his teleport early in order to match Darkwings.
If Darkwings can control this lane and prevent Pretty from being able to freely roam on the map, that will give some breathing room to AOE gold, but already this is an Unforgiven and Destiny lane that has been somewhat propelled, not necessarily in terms of gold from kills, but the fact that Yukino is able to push them off the wave with the dive, and now they're falling further and further behind.
And Winnie is a player that we were praising so much for their ability to be decisive with a lot of their plays. They haven't had a lot of opportunities, but this might be one of them. But Winnie, with no flash, can't get over the Raptor wall, and I fear as though this is just going to be a bit of a waste of time.
Yeah, you called it, Josh. Skytech was potentially fishing for it. Winnie was on the other side, but Winnie doesn't have flash, so it would have to all be on Skytech. And Destiny on Ashe gets to use the hot shot, scouts out where... Oh, actually doesn't... I don't think they saw Winnie.
No, should not have. I mean, we didn't see any pings, which says that it probably didn't happen. I'm pretty sure that's them saying no, coming from our observers, but it is a very tough position right now for AOE and 100 Thieves. I mean, we'll see how they actually play it through. Again, it's a very different look with all new players, whereas before they would take games late and then they would just beat you up in fights that it felt like they should. This is a team that is taking a lot more control early on in the game, and Destiny going to be trying to stop some bats as well. Remember, Lynx has no flash to play with.
Yeah, and look at the difference in recalls. We don't normally talk about... Hang on, Pretty. Darkwings doesn't have that much mana. Pretty should be fine. The item difference right now in lane, if Unforgiven and Destiny can keep Lynx and Skytech in lane, I mean, this is just already a brutal setup. Now, Lynx has gotten a chance to recall, rush tier 2 boots, get a little bit of armor for himself since it is a lot of lethality coming out early from Unforgiven, but this is already a tough lane state to be in, and you can already see 100 Thieves Challengers trying to play off of that power. He still has flash, so he's going to have to walk to the wall with the dredge line, maybe flash away if he needs it, but playing it cool. Yukino doesn't have flash, so you have to look for a clone into his Nimbus Strike. But thankfully, Winnie is around the corner, so Skytech, thankfully for him, doesn't have the burn his summoner spell. Do they want to punish this one?
Nah. They're just buying time. Look at where Unforgiven is, right? He's trying to crash this. They want to entice Skytech to stay around, saying like, hey, if you leave, we're going to jump on your teammates. It forced him to lose even more experience. Right now, Winnie has to walk up, can't finish the Krugs, and this is a potential dive before Skytech can return.
Oh, this is
Look at all this min.
This is
all
so
these minions
brutal.
are dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, even though there's not much action going on in terms of kills, this is already just so detrimental for Lynx and Skytech right now. Just the pressure, comboing Yukino's presence with the advantage that Unforgiven and Destiny are bringing up. And now Breezy, or Pretty, has been able to be unlocked in the mid lane. Weaver's Wall
No
comes
flash.
up, Lings. No flash available. He's separated. Pretty deals with Skytech just as easily on the back end. 2 more kills to 100 Thieves Challengers.
Wow, Unforgiven coming in is giving them so much. This is not a play that we were seeing in Academy last year until well into Summer Split, and it's happening in week 2 for 100 Thieves Challengers at this point. 3 plates gone, nearly 30 CS up from Unforgiven and Destiny, and it's not just the goal that they're missing, it's the experience too. AOE's bottom lane, they did well in the 2v2 isolated last time, but it has not been isolated at all, and Pretty coming through, he gets the flash out of Skytech, and with Lynx with no flash, there's nothing for them to do. Even with Winnie having to use the ball breaker to go in the other direction, can't even interact in the fight at all. This game looks over.
It might be hard to believe just from a number standpoint. It's like, oh, gosh, it's only 3 kills to 0, but this lane has been completely destroyed wide open.
Yeah.
Most of the kills are on Yukino, right? But, I mean, the CS advantage, the amount of gold and experience that Lynx and Skytech have been forced to miss out on due to repeated presence control from Yukino, and even Pretty on the back end, now means that AOE have to immediately pivot over to the top side of the map and say, like, all right, Gamsu, we gotta get something rolling here, man.
Yeah, but Gamsu's not known for his split push pressure. Gamsu is not necessarily known for a lot of his carry play, and now everybody on AoE is moving up towards the top side. 100 Thieves are probably going to be willing to give that over and allow Unforgiven more time all alone with the bottom lane turret. Yes, AoE will get this, but at what cost?
I don't know who stole it. Okay. Yukino did not steal it because, AoE still secured it. It was a nice attempt. That's it's a cost of Yukino's flash. I respect the attempt to go for it.
If you get that Rift Herald there, like, at that point, you just FF, right? There's not a whole lot to do. They get a couple of flashes here on the top side of the map, but again, look at the fact that Unforgiven is completely alone.
All right, well, Yukino forced to use the Cyclone. Be able to walk away still despite being down a flash, but, well, it's an ultimate gone.
Yeah, I mean, great. Unforgiven is 83 to 47 in CS on the bottom side. Now he's walking in. Did he just pick the red buff?
Well, Sniper is all by himself here, slightly overextended. And as you called it out before, because... Whoa, no way he gets out of this one alive, right? Okay, yeah. Well, I think they were trying to donate that kill over to Gamsu so that he could leverage that snowball individually, but Winnie is the one that picks it up in the end. Sniper, as you called it out, he ran Teleport Ignite. Unfortunately, no Ghost means that he is not able to make his getaway.
Yeah. I don't know. This is rough, right? We were looking at Sniper to usually beat Gamsu, but Gamsu's doing a pretty good job in the 1v1, and now with some help was able to get the assist and crash some waves. But look at this, Unforgiven again, double CS, picking up the first turret. That's 2 kills going over to this forest, and now Gamsu might not even live.
No Ghost available either. Has a little bit of mana to play with, already dashed 1 time. Should be able to make it out. No kills given more to 100 Thieves Challengers, but the pressure they are surmounting is very difficult for AoE Gold to come back from. I mean, you can look at Darkwings maybe. He's still scaling on up, but you gotta stall a lot of time before this Victor can really, put that powerhouse in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, he spent his first Victor dollars. He's got $100, and he goes and buys himself some Jawbreakers and an upgraded E, so the laser hits twice. But, he's not doing it particularly quickly. He's not super far ahead. He didn't get any assists, so it's not an accelerated Victor. It's just a normal Victor. And this is a situation where, yes, it will become a problem. Yes, AoE have some scaling tools, but you're playing what's effectively a 3v5, and it's not as though Gamsu and Darkwings have a monumental lead over their opponents, and so I really like this pivot coming out from Winnie and Skytech saying, yeah, there's not a lot there, but maybe you can do something elsewhere.
Thankfully for 100 Thieves Challengers, they have the vision control to deter Yukino. Whoa, but they look for Destiny on the back end. And that point-and-click ultimate combo from both Winnie and Skytech. You talked about it before. Actually, he's still level 5, so it's just cease and desist. Not even needing the death charge. This is how you potentially make a way back into the game.
This is also, though, if you are losing games, this is how AD carries want to be playing a lot of time, right? If you can't do anything for fights, you go down to the bottom lane and you farm and you farm and you farm. And now Unforgiven, I mean, crashing more waves into the bottom lane turret, maintaining that double the CS lead advantage, also grabbing the red buff from the other side. I mean, 100 Thieves, as long as they don't get caught, they're going to be winning this game. And so, I would not be surprised if we spent even more time with people up top lane to Unforgiven, looking for an ult.
Chain of Corruptions does not land on the Skytech. It's okay. 100 Thieves Challengers, decent attempt at it, but AoE gold quick on the movement. It does mean, though, the 100 Thieves Challengers have that wave cryo to stack up this first dragon. Wow, I can't believe it's 12 minutes before they were able to go for it, but I guess so much else was happening that caught their attention. They're like, oh yeah, we do have a dragon to play for.
Yeah. Sniper going to be trying to stop this as a Rift Herald does go down. I do like the fact that AoE are not giving up. I credit that a lot to Winnie. It's just kind of like the, nah, every game is winnable. Every game is winnable. We need to keep on trying. As Yukino.
Oh, nice decoy from Yukino. Blocks the Vault Breaker, doesn't get knocked up by it. Just a little bit of damage on the back end. Skytech was roaming on up, had Death Charge available to see if they could look for something in this dive, but it is pretty difficult to dive a Wukong when Cyclone is available.
Yeah. Look at this. Another potential dive attempt coming out. Winnie and Skytech moving towards the top side of the map. They're stabilizing a little bit, right? The fact that Lynx is now in a position where they are in a 1v1 against Unforgiven, it's very difficult for AD carries to just win those 1v1 situations against each other outright, especially if they're not auto-attacking AD carries. Unforgiven really is reliant on that ultimate, so maybe in the next minute, Unforgiven will be able to find a kill after the ultimate comes back up. But 100 Thieves, it doesn't feel like a large lead just quite yet because of how well AoE have struck back on the top side of the map, but I mean, I'm just waiting for Unforgiven. When his second item comes online, when his Muramana is done stacking, that's when you're going to feel it.
I mean, poor Lynx, because of all the pressure towards the bottom side of the map, hasn't even completed his first item in this Mythic yet. I think by the time Lynx gets it, Unforgiven will have that Yuma's Ghostblade as second. And so then that is where this Varus, with those piercing arrows, you just get the vision control down from Fog of War. You start poking them out, and then AoE, even with all their engage tools, you cannot walk into these fights.
That's Unforgiven's ultimate arrow. Also misses.
Nice side
step. Couple
from
of crucial ultimates not actually going to be landing. No picks available to the side of 100 Thieves. And now as they start moving towards the top side, they could look at this Herald. They're down a couple of ultimates, so it's a little bit harder for them to actually go for these fights. And now Victor, it's got his first item. He's going to be starting to do quite a bit of damage if you just line up and go for front to backs.
Watch for which target Winnie decides to use Cease and Desist on. Yes, they're down gold, as we've mentioned, but if you're able to blow someone up now with Darkwing's someone online with this Liandry's Torment first purchase, I'm going to take that back because there is just no way that they, well...
Fight. We were doing this at LCS, Mark. Fight for Herald. clap. Okay, they're going to be leaving.
Oh, is that what
anyway.
you guys were saying that day?
Yeah, I mean, we were doing a lot of dumb chants.
Nerf Cassante.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything nerfable yet.
Yeah. That was the only one that I could hear through my headphones. I couldn't hear anything else.
Oh, yeah. We were saying fight for Herald, fight for Dragon, nerf Cassante. Then there was that big dokes. But now we'll get back into the game as Winnie looking for Pretty potentially, and Pretty's going to face check him.
Will Pretty feel the need to use a flash? Oh! Okay, well, Pretty's fine. Yukino and Destiny are around the corner. Darkwing slows them down. No. Man.
Where does Skytech die?
Oh.
Yeah. Skytech just got picked off somewhere.
Okay, well, it looks like Unforgiven is now the target for AoE. Flashing backwards. Lynx, does he want to flash for this? Yes, he does! Big shutdown gold going over to the AD carry.
There you go. Big money coming through. It's not the largest shutdowns, but still gotta find a little bit there, as now we get to see exactly how Skytech falls during the last incursion, and he just walks up and, oh. Yeah, that's a lot of crowd control to be walking into. Doesn't buffer out the Q, and yeah. That's textbook. That's what we were seeing earlier on in the day in our first series from Immortals, now being brought to bear up against AoE. And, you know, to AoE's credit, they've actually survived a lot of the worst parts of the game because they are still fighting back on the top side. And Darkwings is still scaling, Gamsu is still scaling, and to their credit, also has continued to build a lead up against Sniper's Cassante.
Yukino's around the corner, waiting to see if Darkwings will leave the safety assist turret. Pretty throwing the minion wave as fast as possible. Nice. Okay. Smite. slows down Dark Wings, and now he goes in for the flash. Cyclone dodging most of the damage from the Chaos Storm. Winnie's here. I don't think Yukino gets out of this one. 1-for-1, shutdown gold. Going over to AOE gold. They'll take it. They're the ones down gold, but now Destiny and Unforgiven found links, and they have ultimates available, and they don't even need the Chain of Corruptions. It's just the Enchanted Crystal Arrow that finds its mark point blank on the links, and they take control of the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, Yukino, I've been really impressed with his willingness to go for the plays. That one was a little bit deep, but hey, Sniper stops the teleport on the far side. They pick up another kill onto Lynx, who committed the flash before, and now AOE, Winnie's going to be picking up the turret. But how do these teams want to fight around the dragon, right? This is a lot of people still on the map with a lot of gold unspent.
I find time to recall and reset and spend that money. You already called it out. A lot of these members are hitting some crucial power spikes. What happened over here? What are you showing us, Observer Team?
Well, this is a canceled TP. Comes through.
I see, I see.
And then backs up, right? This is still a bit of a dangerous position for Sniper to be in. But still, I mean, 1-for-1. Good job to Yukino actually getting the kill onto Pretty. But it's still 25 Victor dollars that go over. And this is a bigger part, right? The fact that Lynx gets picked up on rotation does give 100 Thieves a lot more control of the bottom side of the map. And now, as the vision falls off the board, Skytech will not be here. And that'll be another dragon going over to the Challengers.
2 dragons to the name, unless Winnie wants to get fancy with it, but the dragon is burning down so fast. No chance, no shot. 6-4, almost at the 20-minute mark in just a minute and a half. 2,000 gold lead. It's not the biggest advantage that 100 Thieves Challengers have ever worked with before, but just from the opening that they had, AOE Gold have done an admirable job of holding things together, but now, oh my good God! Skytech just gets blown up,
Winnie.
and all out from Sniper brings Winnie over to the illegal zone, and 400 Thieves Challengers just finding 2 kills off the back of a dive just means that the advantage is even further accelerated.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, you just get to do so much fishing when you have both Ashe and Varus on your team. You just throw out ultimates like, oh, it hit one? Okay, well, then we killed this guy. Pretty has an easy layup, slam dunks him, finds another kill, and so far, I mean, 100 Thieves, it's, you know, they had a little bit of issues at the very beginning, but they are definitely figuring it out. And the fact that Yukino now has 5 kills to their name means that this Wukong has a ton of backline threat, can actually go toe-to-toe with Gamsu in some of these duels later on.
Well, you know, I was talking about how the gold advantage is not that great. I mean, it's still 3,000, but 100 Thieves Challengers off the back of those pick tools you were mentioning. This is how you continue making that gold gap larger and larger, right? And so this is now just repetition for the rest of the game. AOE Gold, all about trying to slow down the game as much as possible, but I gotta say, Josh, it's gonna be a tall task.
It is. I want to take some time and kind of compare what we learned from the first game and what we're learning from this game, right? Game 1 was telling us that Sniper is definitely a better laner than Gamsu. Game 2, Gamsu did a good job in this matchup at actually nullifying. And Game 1 also taught us that Lynx and Skytech were the match of Unforgiven and Destiny. And Game 2 is like, I don't know about that one. Even though Unforgiven and Destiny lost the 2v2 earlier, I mean went 1-for-1, they still came out ahead at the end of it due to the fact they had a better wave position when everybody came back into the lane. Whereas this time, when Unforgiven and Destiny built the lead, it is not close, right? The fact that Lynx has gotten the 2 kills puts them back to a normal position for this AD carry.
And it's
instead
the experience,
of being buried.
Right? It's the experience difference that we've come to expect from both Unforgiven and Destiny. Yeah, maybe their synergy is not as long tested as Lynx and Skytech and Winnie being that collegiate trio. And right now, oh man, this is tough for Winnie. And this might be a Baron opening if they want to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you just get the jungler, everybody is right here at the right time. You have double AD carry Talia. Oh, this is an easy Baron angle. And so unfortunately, Winnie looking like a bit of losey for this game, just getting caught out there. But I like the fact that in order for Winnie to get caught out, it's because they're looking for things, right? This game feels really hopeless, and you gotta make a lot of plays try and happen. And to Gamsu's credit, they're also doing a good job creating pressure on the side lane, but it is now so much harder to do that going up against Baron minions. And so I'm expecting 100 Thieves will line up, or at least send somebody to go pick up the dragon in about a minute. Everybody else is just going to start lining up and start fishing with the double archers.
Just going back to our discussion about how 100 Thieves Challengers, the way they built this roster up, you have these two prospects in Yukino and Sniper, but the way that they've made plans and just executed them immediately upon the advantage presenting itself was all because of the early flash burn off of Lynx, the huge health advantage that they got in the early 2v2. As they're fishing for more, Lynx dodges out on a good Gale Force. Just means that 100 Thieves just going to show that when you have these guys in Unforgiven and Destiny and Pretty, you should be able to coordinate even with rookie prospects like Yukino and Snipers. Like, hey, we got this advantage. If you path here right now, this is how we start winning the game.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen this formula work a fair number of times with Gamsu.
Nice riposte. Nice riposte.
Gets himself out. But we've seen this kind of idea elsewhere as well. Remember, Evil Genius's Challengers also has a very similar roster build. You have Soul and Shaden as your newer players, your less experienced players up in the top slide as people are expecting them to be strong prospects going forward. And then they're going to be filling out with a couple of strong Oceanic players and Smoothie who have all been playing for a while. I mean, this 100 Thieves roster is built in a very similar way, and Unforgiven.
Oh, maybe a pick on Unforgiven. Force the flash away. Here comes Winnie, but he locks down Destiny, and there's no damage follow-up as it's just kind of a solo mission, but that deterrence separated Yukino from the rest of his damage backline. So now AoE Gold is still quite of a heavy backline that you have to deal with, but they got their one for nothing so far, unless they can find the slows. All right, AoE Gold, not bad.
I mean, it's kind of wild that the prize is not Unforgiven as Lynx walking forward forces the flash. But the fact that the prize was actually Yukino is, I think, a bigger win for AoE than actually picking up Unforgiven, the double teleport.
Double teleport flank, reminiscent of Pole Belter and Darshan from CLG 2016, baby. They get the shutdown, and oh man, AoE Gold have routed off 100 Thieves Challengers, and that's a window. They have the dragon all to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that AoE does. They just push and prod, and if you make mistakes, if you get sloppy, AoE are going to be there to pick it all up. Yukino not going to be able to get in, and that is going to be a pretty big win here for AoE, but the game is still far from being under their control. 100 Thieves still have lots of opportunities to just use their ultimate to try and find these plays, but it is a huge morale victory, if nothing else, for AoE, saying,
yeah,
maybe this game is winnable, because we get to see the gold totals. They don't. And this big teleport coming in here in just a second is absolutely huge. They teleport fairly deep because they were trying to use that to set up for the dragon later. It actually wins them the dragon, just not in the way they were expecting.
They saw the moment, they seized it. Once again, the decisiveness from AoE Gold comes through strongly. They do not waste that opportunity. I'm getting a correction from our boy Kangas, the big CLG fan himself. I said 2016 solo laners. My bad. It was 2015 solo laners. Pole Belter and Darshan. My bad, my bad. I was 1 year off.
But still, I guarantee you, Mark, that was another moment coming out from 100 Thieves, right? We saw one of those earlier. You just go over the wall. It's like, oh, well, I guess I'm dead. This was one of those spots where I guarantee the comms, you start off, you're like, hey, we're going to back, and we're going to come out, and we're going to still fight dragon, and it's like, oh. I guess we're not.
Best of us. Yeah. Well, AoE Gold. Just love that whenever there is an opportunity, they don't hesitate to pull the trigger, right? This is for the long term of the LCS Challengers League will be the difference maker in the games that are way more competitive than they are right now.
That Chemtech Blast Cone, though. Sorry, you were saying the difference maker, and I was totally not listening to you because I was watching Sniper fly.
Understandable. The what is it? The Chemtech field really just makes all the plants do extraordinary things. But I was just saying that, you know, AoE Gold, for the long term, looking at their LCS Challengers trajectory, their decisiveness is going to be key in games that are far more competitive than they are right now.
Yeah. And
Weaver's Wall, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and yep, same old story, same old song and dance. You've got so many tools to force fights on your own terms as 100 Thieves Challengers. You route some members off, and eventually one of them is going to fall. The numbers advantage created means that 100 Thieves Challengers, even though Baron is not up for another 45 seconds,
Oh,
but the
that's a
decisiveness
flash.
comes into question once again. AOE find pretty isolated. They go for it, and Yukino gives his life to make sure that his mid laner survives, but he cannot save himself.
That's twice where Yukino has died trying to save somebody else on his team, and now Winnie caught.
Just getting vision right now. He's...
You have a QSS?
Wait. What was that animation? Oh my god, he
Yeah,
does!
he's got a QSS. Let's go. All right, it's a lot harder to pick off
That's
Winnie
awesome.
now. That's a press tab unit kind of moment. Like, Winnie's just able to run away from that one, but I was not expecting that. I don't think Unforgiven and Destiny were likely expecting that, but so far, 100 Thieves, they've made a lot of simple mistakes, and now that Yukino is still dead, we'll see if 100 Thieves can actually mount a 4v5 defense while they stall out for the monkey.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you are down 5,000 gold. If you have an opportunity to get this Baron, you go for it as AoE gold. Enchanted Crystal Arrow from downtown finds Dark Wings, but they're still burning down the Baron. It's a life given up for Skytech, but the Baron is secured for AoE gold, and they can get out. This is a huge win. But 100 Thieves Challengers are routing them off slowly. Looks like Winnie was able to get out, but I don't know if the rest of AoE gold will. Dark Wings flashing over the seismic shove. Enough damage going to come through. Gomsu finds it. Dark Wings now still running for his life. Don't tell me AoE gold gets out of this one, right? The piercing arrow finds and lands true from the back line. Yukino flashing forward. Dark Wings is taken down
No
with the
way.
Cyclone. And now AoE gold, maybe they just bit off a little more that they could chew. Gomsu ends up being the only one to survive.
Trying to run away, gets turned around as Winnie comes back for the fight. They think we can do this, but it's just like Nemo, you just can't. You just can't. They're too strong. They run you down. And Sniper, the fact that he stays alive in that is definitely a Nerf Cassante moment. But again, AoE going for this is one of the things that makes me so much of a fan of AoE, because they will try and take these situations where it's not obvious that it'll be good, but they say, Skytech, I'm sorry, dude, go die. And look at this, Winnie on the top side backs away in order to make sure that they still have a Baron buff while everybody else is probably going to get run down. But at the same time, it's not just preserving the Baron buff, it's like, oh, Pretty, you can't be there. Everybody turn onto the flanker immediately, and then from here, if they just run, they probably lose like Links, or they have to use a couple of flashes, but it's the moment where they say, no, we can actually turn this around, and Darkwings and Links are just too low, and finally, Yukino can clean it up.
Oh, I didn't even realize how close Sniper was to dying. That's definitely a Nerf Cassante
Nerf
moment.
Cassante.
Did we get it on time? I felt like...
I don't know.
I don't know if it came through on the broadcast on time. In my headset, it sounded like it. But for 100 Thieves Challengers, a little stumble off of the pick of Yukino that led into the Baron play for AoE Gold. It only ends up being saved on one, but it is for Gomsu. And if he wants to split push, I mean, this is next couple of minutes with that Baron buff. This is your moment to shine.
Our production is saying it was perfectly offbeat. So, you know, hopefully it sounded all right to the audience. At least you got the right idea. But this is definitely a position where 100 Thieves, it feels to me as though they did a fantastic job in the early game. And then it's a mix of AoE aggressively looking for these mistakes and 100 Thieves, you know, not crossing their T's and dotting their I's throughout the mid game that has led to a situation where this game is still going. But I don't want that to take away from the fact that 100 Thieves are playing, like, Unforgiven is still really new to the rest of the team, right? This team is still coming together, and Yukino is maybe not evaluating his own life just quite yet because of the fact that they had such a large shutdown. And now Darkwings has no flash.
Oh, flash from Skytech. He just wants to get over the wall, look for his target on Unforgiven. Okay, all the point-and-click abilities right onto Unforgiven. So it's now up to Pretty and Yukino to be the ones that deal the damage, but Monkey King has been eviscerated. And AoE Gold, we've seen this from before last week against, I don't remember which team it was, but AoE Gold pulled off a comeback when their backs are against the wall on the top side of the map, and history might look to repeat itself.
Yeah, that's a Winnie moment right there, right? You can never count out a team that just has a Vine, the ability to full send it. Winnie, again, a lot of teams not going to make that, but Winnie is just like, yeah, We're gonna go for it. Oh, we see Sniper in the mid lane. Full send. We get the mid lane outer. We get the mid lane inner. We get the top lane inner turret. All because of one play, and suddenly we're back to an even game. We said that this game was supposed to be over off the huge lead that Unforgiven got. 100 Thieves, again, making a couple of mistakes in the mid game, getting punished, and AOE bring themselves right back into it. Look at this. They see Pretty. They see Sniper. They go.
Yep. In the face of absolute oppression, they stand them down and they just link right on one target. And that's all it takes.
Yeah. The fact that Lynx just opens up with a curtain call is a luxury that most other AD carries do not have to participate in that fight. And of course, Destiny, the sin was that you were on the same screen as Fiora by yourself. There's, unfortunately, not a whole lot that you can do about it as the Ashe. And so, stalling out the game for a little while longer, this Victor is fully online. 3 completed items, has spent all 300 Victor dollars to have all of the extra little buffs that go onto your abilities. Dark Wings was not positioned to be super strong in this game, but has just become so on account of their champion. Lynx was positioned to be weak as hell this game, and is now positioned to do crazy damage to everyone but Sniper before he uses the all-out. This is suddenly a very winnable game for AOE, and we'll see if they feel as though if they're in control, or if they have to continue giving ground to 100 Thieves.
And just like that, Josh, we went from pretty much over from the side of 100 Thieves Challenger to just absolute banger territory for AOE Gold and 100 Thieves. Is now both of these teams are very much dead even. Either team can now take this game and win it from the state of the game.
I mean, because all of the turrets outside of the base on both sides are gone, if you get a clean fight, that's it. The game is over. That's one of the things that AOE, with that fight near their top inhibitor, did so well, is because they got all of these structures. One, the gold is great, but more importantly, it now means that you just need one more of those fights to actually take the entire game. As both teams line up, we have to note, Baron spawning in 10 seconds, and the Chemtech Soul is going to be spawning in about a minute. It's not a
Okay,
they're going.
Doesn't connect, but Sniper in there goes all out, but that means he loses all of his resistances and no damage and no tank. That means this is an open field for Lynx to just shred targets one by one. You said if they get a clean fight, they can look to end the game. It's 2 targets taken down off of 100 Thieves Challengers, but the Baron is still a really damn good objective to pick up.
I gotta be honest about that one, Mark. That was one of the biggest throws I think I've seen in a game ever by a Sniper. He just goes in 1v5, takes an all-out into the rest of the enemy team. AOE are now poised to not just be coming back in this one, not just being even, but are now winning. They have the Baron, and they are teleporting multiple members to come out so they can contest the Chemtech Soul. Watch what Sniper does. All right, we have positioned this guy to be the best. This is not what we should be expecting, but this was not good, and AOE perfectly positioned to deal with it. He goes in, and look how far back the rest of his team is. They can't do anything. He opts into a 1v4 and dies, and now they stop the Chemtech Soul from coming through. They are in control of this game. AOE can never be counted out.
And you saw 100 Thieves Challengers, because they didn't have Yukino on the field quite yet. They were trying to burn down the dragon as fast as possible, but Gamsu clutches a steal over the wall without even needing Winnie there. And now AOE Gold. I mean, just what a complete flip of a game.
I mean, this is definitely one of those cold showers for a lot of teams, right? I mean, AOE is a team that does not give up. And again, so much credit that goes to, you know, one of their captains, one of the most vocal members of the team, Winnie, constantly saying this game is winnable, trying to get everybody back on the same page and constantly looking for these plays. It is so hard. As somebody who's done a lot of shot calling for admittedly much worse teams, just the fact that you are keeping yourself in the game, that you have the wherewithal to say, no, we're going to keep trying to do things, is a very tough skill. And the QSS comes up big once again as Winnie prevents himself from getting caught.
Yukino looks for the engage potentially, but Winnie still has some HP to play with. Gamsu on the bottom side of the map, pushing in this Baron wave. Wow, this is crazy that this has just occurred. This was literally the same spot the 100 Thieves Challengers were in game 1. They were the ones sieging upon AOE Gold's base. Completely flipped his script. Gamsu, gotta be careful about this Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but good dodge, doesn't even need to really sidestep it.
What was it against? Was it against CLG that AOE had the incredibly long game? Or maybe it was FlyQuest.
I think it was a FlyQuest game.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sniper going for the 1v1 and has to leave. The all-out gets them nothing. The Omni Map not enough to keep them in the fight. That's a big ultimate. Oh, AOE continuing to siege. Both teams. This is one of the tough parts, right? With the first inhibitor gone, like, AOE have done the most difficult part of opening up the base, but their Baron is running out. They want to spend all of the gold that they have picked up, and we should be expecting 4th items to be done about half their roster.
Take a deep breath, Josh. This is crazy game. Crazy, crazy. Oh, do we get to see the steal happen?
This is wild. Again, the Chemtech Blast Cone. Full sends just right over the side. Gamsu and
Plus
Winnie.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he misses. Respect. Respect. It's not the spite. Winnie still has it. That was an auto attack coming out from Gamsu. That could have been another spot where the game had just changed on its head. Gamsu showcasing that he is still worth considering even up against what's supposed to be his replacement.
Oh, man. I like the fact that Winnie flubs the Q and has to flash over and doesn't even get a chance to touch it with smite or an auto attack, and it's like, and Gamsu just said, "Don't worry, bro, I still got this." Like, just empowered auto attack with the Divine Sunder off the Q. Just 100 Thieves Challengers now finding themselves in such a unfortunate position off of a couple throws, and this is now where AOE Gold, we asked them the same question that we did to 100 Thieves Challengers. How can you now close out the game with the lead that you have been gifted?
Yeah. I mean, the big thing is now you have to use the power of the Victor and the Jhin, who will both be doing crazy damage to everybody that they're going to be hitting, in order to create space to actually hit. Skytech,
Oh, nice sidestep.
But they got him.
Can't sidestep them all, but nice stasis on the death charge. Right on top of him. Wow! Damn well played from
Good
Pretty.
Zonias.
Being able to dodge out on everything, and Winnie is now fully committed to the fight. All out, brings him right on
Yukino?
back. Numbers advantage from 100 Thieves Challengers. Yukino opens up with a Cyclone, but the rest of AOE Gold buys some space, and now it's Lynx on the back end with a curtain call, looking
Block
for one
it.
more. Someone's got to block it for the boy Unforgiven. He gets out alive, but meanwhile, Gamsu has been wrecking house in the base on the bottom side of the map. Inhibitor will be unlocked for AOE Gold.
Wow, an inhibitor goes down. Only 30 seconds left. There's an opportunity here for 100 Thieves Challengers. This is becoming the same kind of crazy game that AOE played up against FlyQuest, Philip UD Spyrax, looking for the opportunity, but in 30 seconds, when the dragon spawns, Winnie's going to take too long to get there. There will be a 5v4 for about 10 seconds that 100 Thieves can try and use, and they have the Ashe ultimate, they have the Varus ultimate that they can go for picks, and Gamsu, I don't even want to fight for the dragon. I don't think that's worth my time. I'm going to create pressure on the far side and force Pretty to match me.
Pretty thankfully, 400 Thieves Challengers has teleport, so he can try to wave clear against Gamsu. But this is Chemtech Soul, and no one from AOE Gold is going to be able to contest. This is a small pressure point that has now been relieved for 100 Thieves Challengers. They claim the Soul for themselves. It's a little extra bonus power in their stead. Maybe it'll be enough to now reverse the tide that was given back over to AOE Gold.
I mean, it's hard. Everybody looks at the Chemtech Soul and thinks it's a little bit underwhelming. Right, it's really hard to feel a lot of the time because it only really kicks in the lower you go in HP. And if you just die, you gotta play that dangerous game. And so now we're moving our attention to the top side of the map. 100 Thieves with the Soul now have to come in. Now they have to take the fight, and it's the arrow that checks. They see that they're doing it, but they still need to get there.
AOE Gold are going to drop aggro, though. They realize they are not burning down the Baron fast enough. They reset it. Get ready into position to catch them out.
Round two.
And now the waves are synced up where 100 Thieves Challengers are forced to send at least Pretty back over to check bottom wave. 6,000. 5,000. Yukino can get in range now. I think as AOE Gold, you might have to let this one reset. You want to now play for the fight. Pretty is not there. You would have to force him to TP, but now they force him to back off, and clean smite, clean objective take from AOE Gold.
Again, so decisive. I love the fact that as soon as the vision lapses, Winnie goes right on back towards the Baron. They know that Pretty cannot participate. Get the teleport come over, and so Unforgiven. You know, they did such a good job early on in the game, but they've kind of fallen off at this point. on this Varus. You can do a lot of damage to a couple of these squishy targets, but now 100 Thieves, they only have one inhibitor to play for. The bottom one is still down, and Gamsu is unmatchable.
And these waves are timed just right for AOE Gold. As soon as they drop pressure in the top side to deal with Gamsu in the mid lane, a huge minion wave is piling on up from Darkwings and Lynx, and they're firing into the turret. Lynx was forced to use the Gale Force, just trying to dodge out from Unforgiven. Chain of Corruptions is still available. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be available back up in just a few more seconds. Maybe you can fish for another one if you are 100 Thieves Challengers, but this inhibitor is finally exposed on the top side of the map. If you get this one, you'll have double siege minions pouring in from every single lane, and that's the biggest pressure point that you can have from AOE Gold, but they don't quite make the mark yet. Gamsu still hasn't gotten a chance to destroy this middle inhibitor, but finally, the minion waves pouring in. 100 Thieves Challengers low on resources, have to reset, and now all three inhibitors have been taken down, and this is the biggest hill that 100 Thieves Challengers have to climb back up from.
So now AOE, they will have about 20 seconds left of the Baron, but by the time they get back to the other side of the map, if they want to, there's nothing else to really play for. It's 3 minutes until the Elder, 4 minutes until another Baron. They walk in, they have almost full builds on every player. They just got to create enough space. They got to use the fact that they have super minions in every single lane. Now as they march forward, 100 Thieves, they've been a little bit shy at pulling the trigger. They haven't been able to really take off in any of these fights. They've gotten caught enough that they have to be feeling scared.
I mean, it's been really dependent on fishing for Enchanted Crystal Arrows, and not always they've landed.
Oh no!
Winnie brings Winnie right into the base with the Weaver's Wall. Winnie still has flash, tries to QSS
No!
but this could have been the overextension that 100 Thieves Challengers were looking to punish.
No!
So far forward, they have to run. AOE Gold after everything
The chain!
worked for.
The QSS!
It might have just dissipated, but no one else falls. And a slight misplay from the jungler of AOE Gold. They were just on the brink of closing out this game, but 100 Thieves Challengers now by themselves a numbers advantage to defend in the base.
That was so horrifying to watch. It's one of those not like this moments, but because Winnie never caught up, Pretty never got knocked off the wall, went all the way into the base, and the Nexus turret will survive. And now, Unforgiven throws a chain, catches Darkwings.
Okay, Stasis. Flash is still available from Darkwings. Yukino tries to go in, but Gamsu body blocks it. Death Charge forces 100 Thieves Challengers to retreat back into the base. Chaos Storm doing a ton of damage on the back.
Sniper!
Gamsu is looking for the killing blows on a Sniper. Deadly Flourish connects, but he's still alive. 100 Thieves Challengers holding on to everything. And the GA is popped by Gamsu. Doesn't have a teleport anymore, so AOE Gold, they are so close to closing out this game.
The arrow.
Completing the comeback. But they are just not having enough fuel and firepower. 100 Thieves Challengers doing everything to defend.
Oh god, this is looking again so much like the previous AoE game. Scrappy back and forth over and over again. Quick shout out real quick, Gamsu, 100 CS above Sniper. Doing a fantastic job in this Fiora, creating pressure in the side lane. Winnie, again, trying to make all these plays happen. That was just too far. And Mark, I have a prediction to make.
Okay.
In a minute, we have to fight for the Elder Dragon.
And the game will end?
Yes, that. But I actually suspect that Gamsu will probably not come to the fight. They will probably go with one of the waves to try and create a backdoor situation. We're probably going to get a 4v4 for the Elder Dragon for the game.
And you already see pings coming out. 100 Thieves Challengers recognize, hey, our inhibitor just respawned, but that is exactly where AOE Gold are going to beeline for first, because they want to knock it down, get those double supers respawned once again. Gamsu, if he finds Yukino, this will be huge. No smite available, a lot of damage. And Channel Crystal Hero lands true, but the response is on in time. Finally comes out, can he get enough damage?
The heals.
Healing. Is it going to be enough? It's so close. No! 100 Thieves Challengers, but now you have to deal with AOE Gold.
They got Sniper.
In the base. Chronicle finds Sniper. But the rest of 100 Thieves Challengers, can they defend? It looks like AOE Gold cannot go for the base end quite yet. They'll just take the inhibitor and take their lead. But Elder Dragon is up in 4 seconds. And depending on how AOE Gold make this exit, they could put themselves in a worse position, but it looks like everyone gets out safely, and now they just beeline for the Elder. And 100 Thieves Challengers, this is such a tough call.
They have to fight it. They have to come out. They have to use this opportunity.
This?
Yeah, AoE, they don't need to do anything. They just need to get 100 Thieves out of the base.
because then the supers will end. You cannot defend against 2 supers. You just need to stall as much time as possible. 100 Thieves Challengers, the onus is on them to pull the trigger. You have to find members of AOE Gold and just throw yourselves at them, or you have to burn down the Elder Dragon. You have to force the opposition. AOE Gold just playing with their time. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits.
Skytech's cut off.
Flash Cyclone up to the back line. Take down Lynx. G still has the GA. Yukino is traded for Dark Wings, but watching how Lynx can he survive.
Watch Gamsu teleport
around him. Watch for Gamsu. He doesn't have teleport available. Maybe he can look for the back door, but Sniper was forced back. Lynx is taken down. 100 Thieves Challengers, they are still finding a way to save this game somehow. They are dealing with double supers pouring into their base, Josh, and yet they find a way to hold off AOE.
There's no way, man. AOE is doing it again, and they're starting up the Elder Dragon, but it's on Vision. These two, it's tough for them to stop it. They have both of their ultimates, though.
They
both miss.
AOE Gold. It misses, but it forces them off the Elder Dragon, and now they're trying to bait Winnie and Gamsu to fight them at the Elder Dragon. This game is insane.
These two could win, but Sniper has a teleport, and the teleport ward is gone. These two are dead.
Okay. Oh no, Destiny's in a world of trouble. Gamsu just is overloaded on damage. Unforgiven's got nowhere else to run. Oh, this is so horrifying to watch for 100 Thieves Challengers. AOE Gold take out the 2 marksmen.
They were relying on that ward. Gamsu killing it means that Sniper and Pretty can't show up. They could never win that 2v2. And AOE, you're gonna get the Elder Dragon mark. This game is wild. Every time AOE has been playing one of these Challenger teams, we are going to nearly 50 minutes.
All right, everyone, calm down. We're not taking a pause. We're taking a huge breath because we are finally given a moment's notice. But AOE Gold still have 20 seconds to play with before Unforgiven comes back online. They don't have Baron, but they have the Elder. And if there's a moment to try and push for the game end, this might be your best shot yet.
Just throw out spells. There's the curtain call. Pretty's going to take half his HP as the arrow goes through.
Oh!
There's no way. Jay, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
No, there's no way that there's a pause right now.
There's no way. We're getting a pause.
Right now. No way.
Okay, they're back. Put us back in.
Are we? Oh, no! Not like this! Josh, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know how to stall until we get into this game. We're literally on the cusp.
The game is about to end, one way or another, and oh my god, we're hearing that it's a long enough pause that we're going to leave you guys in suspense. This is the intermission. We will be back shortly when we can get back into the game, but guys, what a wild game. We'll see you on the other side.
Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. We are currently in a pause at the tail end of Game 2 of 100 Thieves Challengers versus AOE Gold. What? Are you kidding me? That was... we were right there.
I am shocked, right? As we see them walking into the base with the Elder Dragon, like, my brain is telling me there is no way the 100 Thieves should be able to come back from this fight. They've been losing so many of these interactions for the past 10-20 minutes, it feels like, and it's a pause. We don't have an update as to what is going on, what is happening to one of the teams, but, you know, if a player disconnects at a crucial moment like this, we have to hold on and stick around. So, for anybody who's asking, Casters, start the game, Casters, what is going on? We are as lost as you are right now.
I'm not joking. I can feel my heartbeat right now. Like, that game is intense.
We did this to get FlyQuest too, man. It's just like, there's something about this team that is scrappy, and other teams are just kind of, you know, not necessarily playing it as cleanly as we've seen them do it before. There's something about AOE. They've got this aura that means that we're going to go to 50 minutes every time.
And AOE's performances, what can you say about it? They're just continuing where they left off last Proving Grounds, putting these very, very tight games. Again, the core of this roster was one of the teams that ran, I believe, like the second furthest last Proving Grounds. And they just show up and start bullying around one of our 100 Thieves rosters, even making that comeback I don't know what to say about it. I just wish I could see the conclusion.
Well, I think where everyone is in the same boat. This is the one time where we are in dire straits. Unfortunately, we don't. We just.
You're kidding.
What?
No. Okay.
Can we get an update?
One of the PCs of the players just went complete boom. It is no longer working. It's now in the big e-waste scrap yard in the sky, as our producer has said to us.
Man.
Oh no.
I can't imagine just like having a blue screen in the middle of a game like that. Right?
Game
like,
was too hot.
So
15 minutes, the computer was doing everything it could, and then it just crashed.
So, yeah, from what we're getting told, their PC blue screen and nobody knew what was going on, so they couldn't pause immediately, and their champion walked all the way back to their own base, which says to me that it was probably one of the members of AOE, which is heartbreaking. I'm glad I'm not a referee and I don't have to make any of the competitive rulings, but we are going to wait a sec to actually figure out what the competitive ruling will be on that one, but it kind of reminds me, Mark, of a situation that we found ourselves in a while back.
Oh, that's right. Before we start alienating people of Wirecasters talking about their own like community rec leagues,
I'm wondering.
We're in a pause, and we're basically in story time mode until we get back. Because I mean, everyone is on the edge of their seat for this game. So, but this has happened to me and Josh. We played in a rec league before, and one of our friends also who cast for the NA.
We also made fun of him today as Alk Battery.
The Challengers League Open Qualifiers, Alk Battery. His computer boomed in the middle of our game, and then we had to wait for him to come back. And at some point, we're not sure what the competitive ruling will be. But either if the PC cannot get replaced in time or something, then we'll wait and see what the official ruling will be. But this is a heartbreaker of a moment on such a close game, on the cusp of potentially a comeback for AOE Gold, or if there was going to be some type of moment. And I like this sucks. This is a tough situation to be in.
And what a claw from behind that AoE have been able to do. It is showing that even though Yukino and Sniper are very hot prospects, they're still newer players. We're starting to see little moments of that inexperience show up, and that's what's gotten here in the first place with AoE making this comeback.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we will continue to see, I think, from AoE games, right? This was a game that, by all rights, should have been over relatively quickly, but they continued scrapping towards the top side of the map, and they continued looking for these opportunities where a lot of teams would not be as ready to go for them. And I feel like it's one of those situations, again, where a challenger team is not necessarily giving the provisional teams as much of a respect as they are potentially supposed to, right? You saw Sniper and Pretty, and with both those guys up in the mid lane, there is no real front lane to protect Unforgiven and Destiny from getting jumped on. And it doesn't matter if Yukino stands in the way like it would with a lot of engaged tools, right? Like, you can block a Nautilus hook that way, but you cannot block the ultimate coming up from Vi because they just full send it through you anyway.
And what about this matchup? Because I remember that Sniper was tweeting about it. How do you feel the tides are moving when it comes to Gamsu versus Sniper? Because this is the experienced journeyman of the league versus one of our new players in Sniper, one of our hot prospects, a 16-year-old.
So one of the things that I've oftentimes found when like watching Sniper's streams or like seeing him in like the Tyler 1 Championship series or a bunch of other things is he plays exceptionally well when put under pressure. When you put him in a 1v2 situation, the number of highlights this guy posts on Twitter make him look really, really good. But this has been a situation where Gamsu is not going to be taking like these crazy opportunities for 1v1s in the side lane, and it's just meant that Sniper is a relatively young player who has not played in a competitive environment for nearly as long as Gamsu, has been unprepared to deal with the consistent pressure coming out from Gamsu.
And now with Winnie making a lot of these more decisive plays, it gets me hyped up for AOE Gold and what they're able to do, because right now they're on the cusp of taking this right on back to 100 Thieves Challengers. I do give that so much to Winnie and the experience that this player has. You know, I love seeing Winnie over with St. Louis, over with Western Ontario, with AOE and all the rosters he's been on. This is a very experienced player, and this experience showing off in this game right now.
Yeah, it's a much more experienced roster, I think, that a lot of people would have expected from a lot of these provisional teams, right? Gamsu has obviously been playing for forever at this point. Winnie's been one of these players that we've been consistently asking to see in the Challengers League. Darkwing's played, you know, back when it was Academy. Skytech played back when it was Academy on the Evil Geniuses roster, and I don't really feel as though they got a fair shake. The Skytech did not look particularly good on the roster, but we also know that every other player from that same roster who has since moved on to another team has had more success since then. And I think Skytech has been another player. Well, this hasn't been their best game so far. I think I saw someone in chat say the best thing that they did was die so that AOE could get the Baron. It's still a position where Skytech is still outperforming what we were expecting from them in their previous showings at this level.
Oh, we talked about it in the game one before, where you are the only advantage that you can have as AOE Gold over some of the obviously more experienced members from playing in pro play from Unforgiven and Destiny is you have innate synergy built up from playing in Collegiate and Proving Grounds teams as Lynx and Skytech, right? So why not test your strength and just see if you can go for the hands check early on the 2v2. And even then, it as we saw in the laning phase, didn't really work out. AOE Gold still have that decisiveness, that willingness to say, hey, this is a moment everyone just needs to believe and trust in the call. And the fact that they've gotten themselves this far is really remarkable. And we already talked about how this is going to be one of the things that we are going to be consistently checking as the LCS Challengers League continues its spring split, because when they're in a spot in future games as AOE Gold, that decisiveness is going to be the key in whether they turn around games. I mean, it's already seemingly working just before the pause happened.
Yeah. Also, we're getting a request from Twitch chat. We've gotten this a couple of times as a copy pause. Can the casters please start dancing? It would make my day.
Rafa, you gotta lead us.
Start us off.
Well, hang on. If I'm gonna dance and make a fool of myself,
Remember, no copyright music.
Yeah, I need to.
We're not gonna get people in trouble.
Yeah. I'm gonna find. I need some non-copyright music. Yeah.
Rafa, you're taking too long. I'm vibing, bro. Where are you?
I just.
You just gotta get in the club. Are you up and down or like side to side?
I'm the side to side.
You're the side to side.
I mean, like,
all right.
I just want to make sure that everyone is dancing to the same tune. You know, we're all on the same wavelength.
All right. Well, in the meantime, we're also getting another great suggestion coming through. So I think, Eric, you and I probably played this game a couple of times with Steve, where we have to say the same thing, where we did this last time during a couple of our half times, where we were looking for words to try and make sure that we could get on the same page and describe the game in the same way, saying a single word. So, Eric, I want you to come up with a single word, how you would describe this last game. I will come up with another one.
All right. Self-defecation.
What? What? You're supposed to wait. We're supposed to say it at the same time.
At the same time? My bad.
What? What did you say?
Nothing. Just count down again. Count down again.
I think Deathrex meant a different word and forgot some syllables in there.
I don't know if he did. I think it was identical.
I did it.
Oh my. Okay.
I already talked about my heart rate during that game.
All right. On three.
It's just
Hold
YouTube.
on, I need to come up with a word. Yeah.
YouTube,
Mark's
right?
still looking for music.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Comeback. Eric.
What did you say, Josh?
I said comeback.
Yeah.
Comeback. Okay.
I'm
Hey,
not that bad.
no more talking. That's so. All right. You know what? I'll count you guys off.
Okay. So, what was your? You didn't even say a word, Eric.
That's right.
Oh.
That's all that's going through my brain right now.
Okay.
Josh.
So now we have to find something between and comeback. All right.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Crazy.
I had nothing in time. I'm sorry. I didn't get enough thoughts. Thoughts through.
Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Banger.
What?
Eric!
I had to think about the words again. They're
All right. Okay.
What
okay,
was the other word?
Hang on.
I'm back.
Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes,
I'm
Eric.
looking. I'm looking.
Okay?
I'm looking.
See my hand? Tag
Okay.
me in, bro. Tag me in.
Okay.
It's okay. All right.
I didn't
All right.
tag. I didn't
My
tag.
lights went out.
Oh my god.
I'm ready for one more.
Tag. Oh, okay. You can do this. You can do this. All right.
Okay,
One.
what are our words? It's between banger and...
Banger and what? And nothing? Okay.
All right, guys. Here we go. You guys got this.
All right.
Remember, you guys casted for Team Liquid Academy back in the day. In-house casters. Bring that synergy back. Same mental wavelength. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Bangs.
Mid.
Bangs and mid.
Okay, bangs and mid. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
ARAM.
Pretty.
Oh.
What did you say, Josh?
ARAM.
Okay, ARAM and pretty. 1, 2, 3.
Talia.
Cutlass.
What?
All I could think about was the old pirate ARAM map, and that was the first word that came to mind.
Okay.
Okay, Talia and Cutlass. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Blade of the Ruin King.
Remove scurvy.
What is happening, you two?
We're Rafa, it's time. It's time. It's
Okay.
time. Hurry.
All right. Okay, I am.
Rafa, help me.
Okay. Tag me in.
Tag.
Okay. What were the last two words?
He said remove scurvy.
and you said
that way.
Blade of the Ruin
I
King.
said Blade of the Ruin King.
Okay.
The spectral cutlass,
Right.
used to build into that item.
Okay. All right, Josh. You
All right,
said
Cutlass,
Blade of,
pirates, remove scurvy, gangplank. Yeah.
Josh. You said Blade of the Ruin King, right?
Yeah, and remove scurvy.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Wits
Viego.
End.
Viego and Wits End. Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
I guess we're just building the champ now. Okay, Viego, Wits End. 1, 2, 3.
Divine
Kindred?
Sunderer.
Oh, we're dancing around each other now.
Divine Sunder and what?
Kindred.
Kindred.
Kindred. Why are we just doing champion builds? Why are we just building
Because you
items on
got us off
champion?
topic.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's league related. No, it's league
All right,
related. It's
all
fine.
right.
It's fine.
Expand us further.
Okay.
Kindred,
okay.
Divine Sunderer. 1, 2, 3.
Junglers?
Kraken.
Ooh, Kraken and Jungler.
Kraken and Jungle.
Hey, remember,
Okay,
we
okay.
can go back to previous words.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a.
No, we got this. We got this. No. We don't need to start over.
No,
We
you're
can
still
go back to
giving me.
previous
You're still
words
giving me items and champions.
as long
and
as it's
giving me
not
rules.
the most recent thing that we said.
Okay, fine. Jungle, Kraken. 1, 2, 3.
Viego. No, you said not the most recent thing. That was the most recent thing. It was
But
the one.
Jungler was the most recent one, Mark.
You guys are worse than me.
I thought we understood each other. We both were like, okay, you're gonna say the jungler that was most recent. Oh,
Okay. All right, remember, we can say as long as it's not the most recent word. Okay. We got this.
Okay.
1,
2,
3.
Eric.
Start again.
Yeah,
Why you gonna start the count for me? 1,
Sorry.
2, 3.
Junglers.
Junglers.
Yeah, there we go. And that's how we segue to talking about Winnie and Yukino again.
This was very elaborate.
It was very elaborate. If you guys can't tell, we are 100% just buying time at this point. I am very confident that if/when we get back into the game, it will almost definitely be an AOE victory. They're marching in with Elder Dragon. But I want to start off by saying that Yukino played the first half of this game fantastic. Started off 5-1-1 throughout all these different plays and was consistently able to find opportunities for AOE. For 100 Thieves to actually have a lead in the first place, right? The number of times that he went down bottom lane to help out Unforgiven and Destiny build that lead and push Lynx and Skytech off the wave was the reason why I said this game is supposed to be over at like 8 minutes.
And with the talk of prospects, I mean, you're talking about Yukino, right? It always gets me excited having that conversation about Yukino and Sniper, because it's two pipelines that these players have come from, right? 100 Thieves Next, Evil Geniuses Prodigies, and we've seen what these pipelines are capable of. You know, Jojo Pion with Evil Geniuses, Tenacity and Busio making their debut last week. I know you could talk more about that, Rafa, but you know, it is the future that we're seeing in a lot of these young prospects, especially in Yukino, since we're taking it back to junglers right here. I feel great about a lot of those early plays, a lot of the early invades and aggression that we get from Yukino.
Yeah, I mean, I think to give credit where credit is due, I would argue, I could be wrong, but that Unforgiven and Destiny were the ones kind of giving Yukino a game plan, or maybe an audible in the middle, that once they got Lynx's flash out early on and they chunked him out, they said, Yukino, if you skip all of your bottom side camps after clearing your top side, you beeline towards the bottom side of the map, we have a window where we could, like, even if they don't kill Lynx, they can force him off of so much gold, so much XP off the minion wave. And the fact that Winnie was also there, it was a happy coincidence, because they got more than what they were expecting to. And that snowball, that leverage, that's like textbook from what you experience from the highest level of pro play, leveraging an advantage in a lane, immediately pivoting your jungler, especially in this meta, to be so freeform that you don't necessarily need to full clear your jungle. You just go wherever the strongest point in the map is, and you continue breaking that pressure point open. It just wasn't until AOE Gold, like in their previous game against FlyQuest last week, it literally was almost the same story, Josh. That they, from the top side inhibitor, they're like, all right, we're making a last stand, go. And from there, it was back in their hands.
All right. So we are still solving the situation that's going on right now with that whole computer thing. We will have, I believe, the match back. We're still trying to figure that out, but instead of wasting a little bit more time here, we are going to throw it over to a short break. And I will get that button ready for Caster to start game, so don't you worry. We'll be right back.
Welcome to another year of On the Range. Now, we've been busy this offseason acquiring some new territory. We got some new, some old, some rough and rowdy. Let's go and check them out, shall we? Now, one of the new bloods we got is Masu. He's in a bit of a migratory pattern while he flies to LA, but that ain't gonna stop him. No way.
The wild turtle getting lower and lower. Is it enough? No!
Oh, not enough!
And that was on 120 ping. Now, another youngin' we have on the range is APA. And in instances like these, it's important to plan ahead. Luckily for Appa, he always does. Yep.
Concept following up, APA
big.
buying the space. Concept taking a lot of damage right now. Throws out the all-in. First to fall.
Now that we've gotten some of our youngins nice and rassled, let's go see how our more mature members are doing. Caution now, we're going to be walking into the top lane kingdom.
Now next up we got good old Bradley. He's the last remaining member of his prize pack, but don't let his early antics fool you now, or he'll serve you up some of that humble pie.
Young, even with Prismal on top of him, I think Bradley's got it. That's another one. He's got Prismal too. Pentakill to Bradley.
Now as we come around the bend here, make sure you got your flex protection on, or Hanser will get you.
Whoa, watch out now! Whoa, Nelly! Is that a real weapon? Arms are flying everywhere!
Now this next part of the range is a little bit scarier. We're gonna go check in on our crocodilian friend from down under, Surdy. He likes to hang out with the creepy crawlies of the world, but you know, if he gets you in his sights, boy, he'll get you. Woo! It looks like I got my work cut out for me wrestling all these new critters this year. But as always, thanks for tuning in to an episode of On the Range, and we'll see you next time.
Hello and welcome back to another year of the NA Talent Update. Honestly, I don't know how this got approved again.
Please, I'm begging of you.
But I sure as hell am excited to be back and bringing you some more NACL action in this revamped semi-pro system we have for 2023. With that said, I'm going to get started by throwing it to a couple of our friendly Canadians from above.
Thanks, Kobe. We're sorry to bring this up, but we had to say something. This is the North American Challengers League, and we feel like our players from the Great White North aren't getting the respect they deserve.
So we're just going to take a minute to talk about some of the great Canadian talent that we've got up here.
And first up, we got Spyrax here in the mid lane, and look at this boy go. Ooh, sorry, Doxa. At least he had the decency to go and die with him, though.
And now our next player, Tomio. If the Leaves were to pick him up, well, they might just have a shot to come playoffs time. Watch him go. First kill, bam, but then, oh, he's going to go back for seconds, eh?
You love to see it. And sorry to juke you on this next play. We know Moose Hater's American, but he put the moose in Moose Hater. Up here in Canada, we know how dangerous Moose can be, but it seems like y'all didn't get the memo down there.
For future reference, when you see an angry moose approach you, back away slowly, do not engage, and if they charge, run away, or else something like this is gonna happen. And now, for our last clip, Diamond does a good job here protecting his team as best as he can, but deep down, look at this.
Yeah, Diamond, that's not very nice. Supports don't need gold, but I'm sure he apologized in the end, and he still played well.
Well, as if the super heavyweight SmackDowns weren't enough wrestling references, we've got Kangas and Deserex coming right at you with the Slam of the Week.
This time on Slam of the Week, Team Liquid had an inconsistent day 1 of Challengers League, but they turned it around in day 2 with their slam against Golden Guardian. With the powerhouse performance, Bradley slammed the top lane versus Concept with combined KDA of 10-1-9 across both games and a pentakill to end the series. This was an easy decision for our Slam of the Week.
Well, he might be an LCS big shot now, but Rafa still has some time to help us out with the Rawpog Moment of the Week, which is brought to you by Serenok and CLG Faith's Backdoor.
Line, but you can tell that CLG Faith are ready for
here comes the TP.
Serenok's going, but that's going to be too late for anyone to stop them. They got the kill and a plus. CLG, they've got to fight. They got to survive as the repel comes in.
Here we go.
But Serenok, he's looking for it.
He got canceled.
No, Lunacia's here. They canceled the back. And
That's
one
it.
more auto. He needs it. Come on. There it is.
Woo! Poggers. Big shout out to everyone who helped out for this week's NI Talent Update. It's good to be back. We'll see you next week, and may your week be filled with positive gaming experiences.
Welcome back, everyone, to the North American Challengers League. Now, we are having a technical issue. We have an update on that. In game number 2 of AOE versus 100 Thieves Challengers, a player disconnected, which caused him to walk into the enemy base. We've attempted a chrono break to return the game to its original state before the disconnect. Unfortunately, League officials were unable to get the chrono break to work. So in this case, we are unfortunately going to have to play this through. The game is now ready, so Rafa, Joshi, please take it away.
Thank you, Deserex. Well, it is what it is, right? So we're going to get straight back into the game, and we're going to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Ready whenever you are.
Get ready to jump back into the game. This was definitely a position from which AOE felt like they should be winning. If they are able to close out the game in their favor, it'll be okay, but it's definitely a position where, you know, nobody's happy about how this game will end up, and we will see exactly what goes on. They start opening up on the fire. They still have the Elder Dragon.
See what happens. Deadly Flourish is unlocked. Yukino does everything he can to fend off the base. And now, we'll see how well AOE Gold are able to take out one in Yukino. The rest of 100 Thieves Challengers now only have 4 members left to defend the base with. The rest of AOE Gold backing off.
Cleanse.
Great cleanse from Lynx. As the base siege comes to an end.
I'm surprised. I thought for sure we were going to see the walking into the enemy base there. You're telling me it still has yet to happen. As AoE, they back off. They don't get either Nexus turret, and they're going to be able to pick up the Baron. Instead, is trading one potentially game-ending objective for the other. The Elder is the obvious team-fighting one, but now you can go back. You still have 2 inhibitors down. The third one shouldn't be that difficult to get. And so, 100 Thieves, they hold on for a little while longer. But that means, again, Mark, at some point, we have yet to see our actual reason for the pause. AoE were not able to close it out there.
Wow. That's actually insane. I would have thought that, considering the decisiveness that we've seen from time and time again, but AoE Gold, I think, They just wanted to be certain that they could assure victory. With the Baron on their side and Elder Dragon not spawning for another 4 minutes, you know, this is a window where...
They have 50 seconds of the Elder left. Or no, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. I was looking at the wrong timer. They can still fight this.
Enchanted Crystal Arrow misses. Curtain Call comes out. Not any real damage on the 100 Thieves, but it just allows AoE to walk up and take an inhibitor for free. Waiting on the next minion waves to come through. Baron buff will empower them. And Pretty using the Weave of Vault. Yeah, just good stuff from 100 Thieves. Just stalling as much time as they can, right?
They only need 5 more seconds already to get the Elder gone, and Skytech goes in.
Okay, Skytech flashes forward for the dredge line, doesn't really connect. Deadly Flourish doesn't lock on anyone else. Yukino buys time with Cyclone once again, deters the rest of AoE Gold from being able to step in forward. And 100 Thieves next somehow managed to make the base defense happen. AoE Gold now floundering by the wayside. Yukino, great flash on the backside. Dark Wings is taken down. Great trade from Gamsu, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end, and now Lynx is the only member left standing on the side of AoE Gold. And so far, has there been a disconnect yet in the game, Josh?
Not yet, not yet. We're still going, though, but the big thing is 100 Thieves defend the Elder Dragon once. They prevent the fight with the Elder Dragon the second time, and now Yukino finds Lynx.
There's no Elder Dragon execute available. Oh, God, Lynx still does so much damage, man.
What a crazy situation overall. Just this entire fight has been absolutely wild. The game is continuing to go. I'm seeing Twitch chat saying they saw Skytech disconnect, but I believe them. I didn't notice it. I was watching other members in the fight. This whole thing just means that the game is going to continue going. 100 Thieves, though, the crazy thing is they need such a strong fight, and they also can't really win while these inhibitors are still down. Even if they get a 5-for-0 fight, it's so hard for them to walk up to the other side of the map. And look at this. Lynx is creating a lot of traps to make it easier for them to back out.
I don't know. Skytech is still walking, so because we're just trying to make sure that we're getting as much as the narrative.
We'll get to it as we get to it, Mark. We will. If it's obvious, we'll see it. And
man. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's big. Okay. Yeah, and we just have to continue playing it out as here comes the curtain call. AoE looking to end the game.
And this is curious. Yeah,
Start walking forward. They have no Baron. They have no Elder. This is just a straight 5v5 with one Nexus turret remaining.
Thieves next. They're doing the best that they can given what they have so far. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out, and it looks like AoE Gold are throwing everything into the base. Can they finally close out this game? And it looks like, despite the disconnect, it's just a couple raw attacks. There it goes. All right, AoE Gold. It was a tough situation to have to deal with in the moment, but, you know, AoE Gold finally, you know, endure and close out the game.
That was not the way I was expecting that game to end, but AoE, another 50-minute back and forth banger. They are, in fact, able to close it out, but we saw Lynx steps a little bit too far forward. Guaranteed that's what we were looking for. That whole thing ends up coming to a head, but AoE, the resilience with which to withstand the disastrous early game and to win it in another 50-minute game, I think says a lot about the future for this team.
All right, yeah. And now, game is over. We have finally gotten a chance to see what happened in the epic cliffhanger that was after that pause. But, you know, thank you, chat, for enduring with us through all of it. We were all just in the same position as you were. But, you know, for us, we now get a chance to step away because I believe we will have an interview with AoE Gold after the back end with Winnie. So, we'll catch you in a little bit.
Welcome back, everyone. I am joined by Winnie from AoE Gold, and you're looking a little bit more composed than me. What gives?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously we had a long pause. It was a pretty tense situation. We had already failed around like 3 to 4 sieges, you know, so we wanted to make sure on that one that, you know, no unforeseen errors, you know, outside the game kind of affect that. But, you know, we had a lot of time just like during the pause, you know, 20, 30 minutes. Like we ended up doing a lot of banter in the all chat, like, you know, all that kind of like calmed the nerves. And, you know, we ended up, you know, just like that after the pause, just ended up closing out the game. But yeah, I think we were all pretty cool, calm, and collected. But yeah, I mean, hopefully we put on a show for the fans.
Is that all you did during a pause? Because that was quite a long pause, and that was quite an intense game as well, Winnie.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the early game didn't go the way we planned, but I think we really bounced back and found a lot of opportunities against a really strong team in the Challengers League. So I'm really proud about my teammates on that end. And then, yeah, I mean, just you know, it's kind of cool because a lot of the 100 players, or the newer ones, I don't know too much about them. So just like having that chance, during that pause, just to, talk with them, get to know them, learn a lot about Unforgiven. One of the best ADCs that was in the LEC was, it's just all good fun. So it's all good vibes here, and hopefully over there as well.
So this game number 2, this was initially a losing game. Casters felt it was pretty set for 100 Thieves Challenger. Flash forward 30 minutes, and now I'm having this interview with you. Your playmaking has always been great, but to come back against one of the hottest teams in the NACL, what were the comms like during that process? Who's the primary shot caller?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously the early game didn't go the way we anticipated. We thought we would have a lot more timers to, be able to counter the plays. We knew their game plan going into it. But yeah, especially on that one stacked away with Talia's one timer, we definitely misexecuted that. I think the plans was good, but sometimes on the stage we're still, kind of get lost in those moments a bit. But in terms of finding opportunities to come back, we kind of worked on it a lot throughout the week, and just, with our coach, Katie, and just really talking about being decisive if we are making trademark plays, what they're looking like, and having, strong plans around them and actually executing, which I think we especially did really well this game, given, the deficit that we were at. And yeah, I mean, just in terms of just like I've always felt confident in my ability to read the game and read the game state at different times in the game. And then, in that moment, I know what my champion's capabilities are. If we, after we had that one fight on bot, some disadvantage on the enemy team, something that we definitely wanted to capitalize and punish. And we were able to put Gamsu in a good spot where he was able to start, creating pressure on the other side of the map with the resources we got with, the Rift, a couple kills on Sniper. And yeah, we ended up creating a situation that, ended up being favorable for us. And it's really good, but we want to make sure definitely going forward that, either in draft or in gameplay where, we aren't at that initial deficit.
So when you do start doing, when you start coming back from deficits like that, right? Every so often blunders are going to pop up. There was an interesting one that happened around 42 minutes where you rode the Weaver's Wall all the way to your death. What's going on in moments like that?
Yeah, I mean, got clipped on Twitter. It happens. I mean, Violet's just one of those abilities. It can, create a lot of situations where it's like really favorable. The enemy team, will flash Gale Force where you're still traveling. Obviously in that instance, haven't played against much of Talia, and obviously Pretty's, that's one of his signature picks, especially he was doing a lot of work on it last year, and, obviously he knew his limits when he was pushing out that wave, didn't account for it. But yeah, it's just one of those funny moments you laugh at. Obviously if we had lost, it would have been like, definitely need to, rethink things. But luckily that one blunder didn't, result in the outcome of the game changing. But yeah, no, I think it was a cool, funny moment, just one of those interactions, and, I'm sure Twitch had a good laugh at it, so.
Oh, trust me, content side, we're going to be having a lot of fun with that little snippet right there.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone has a goal to win the NACL. I want to talk more about personal goals, though.
For sure.
Give me 2 things you're working on, one on the Rift, one out of game.
Sure. I mean, in terms of in-game stuff, I think a lot of the times in which I've been playing, I've been super successful in the specifically amateur ecosystem, playing not against these academy teams. And it was during that time.
Proving grounds.
Exactly. But yeah, or not to toot my horn too much, but during that time, especially because like what the level play was, I found a lot of opportunities where I was improving my teammates' knowledge and understanding of, their gameplay, how they, what they need to do in order to be successful at that iteration, as well as get to the next level. You've seen a lot of players, such as Bradley, Meej, Soul, etc., make that jump. And I'm super happy that, I was able to be there in the kind of beginning stages of that, process. But while I was in amateur, it was hard for me to really find what I need to be doing in order to improve my own individual gameplay, what I need to be thinking about, and just really challenging myself, which is something especially that Acadian's helped me with a lot with this year. And just, it's really good to see my own individual progression and seeing the errors that I'm making more, clearly identified, because in the past I've been really good at seeing others, but not my own. So in terms of those individual things, that's what I'm really trying to work on, and then continuing to be a great teammate and player. And then I'd say outside the game, this is just the first opportunity that I've ever lived by myself. I was always dependent on my parents, and I'm really thankful for what they've done for me and given me these opportunities. But it's kind of around that time that I'm not like that little baby anymore. I start just kind of growing up outside the game and just doing those more independent things, cooking, cleaning, making my own bed, things like that. So yeah, just really trying to grow outside the game, as well as keep working on my individual things and becoming a more consistent player inside the game. And yeah, hopefully that results in a really strong showing this split.
That's great to hear, man. You got any shout outs before we close out this interview?
Yeah, well, actually, during the pause, I did say, well, if I was going to get the interview, I did say I'd shout out Destiny, you know, if we got the win. So we did get the win, so shout out him. He's a really good friend of mine. As well as just, you know, my teammates, the AOE organization. They've, you know, bet a lot into us, especially being one of those provisional teams, and I don't want to let down their expectations. So yeah, you know, they've been super, just everything we've ever needed. Just been there, then as well as my teammates. Just want to make, you know, all of them proud. As well as all the people back home who are supporting my family, sister, brother, all that. So yeah, a lot of people to thank. Job's not done, so we'll keep working hard and hopefully keep putting on more cleaner performances.
All right, thank you so much for the interview, Winnie, and we wish you and AOE Gold the best of luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
But we're going to take a moment to throw it over to short break. When we return, we'll get ready for our final game of the day, and that is going to be TSM Challengers versus Wildcard.